Well, here we are, look, another glorious day. It still says it's going to snow at 5 o'clock. I mean, it's midday now. So, the next 5 hours, the weather's going to have to change quite dramatically. I know the temperature's dropping slightly, but it says it's going to be about 4 degrees and with some sun. And then possibly turn into rain. So I just don't know. But I'm running tonight anyway. So looking to get out and do my sort of 8 to 10k route, the usual that I do on the well-lit road with that small section, as you know, where I require the head torch. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out, and we'll just see what happens when I get home later. But my intention is to go out as soon as I'm home, rather than waiting too late into the evening. Realistically, I'm not going to be walking out the door until gone 6 for my run anyway. So, you know, it's just the nature of being back to work and the unpredictable timetable that I work with. But out now, just for a quick walk at lunchtime. I like to come out most days if I can, depending on my, again, timetable, but generally speaking, there's a little bit of freedom in the day for me to just go and catch a breath. And whilst the weather's nice, being inside is just not something that I enjoy all that much. Anyway, I'll see you on the road later and we'll check the weather conditions then. Okay, I was wrong, I jinxed it. The weather did turn. It's dropped down to a 1 degree with a wind chill, or it feels like -2. You might be able to see my red nose here. I've only just been outside for a few minutes. Anyway, I'm about to head out there now. I did just look at some Instagram stories of I Run Things and John over at John's Conscious Life, and I see that the wind chill, or feels like out there, is something like -18 or -20, so I'm being a bit of a baby. The only issue I have is not having a decent waterproof coat. I've gone for a coat with a hood, but I know it's not waterproof, so it's not going to be the most pleasant experience. But the rain isn't going to stop for probably about another 2 hours, and I can't really wait that long. It's going to be far too late by that point. So we're going to head out. I don't know how much I'm going to film because I don't want my phone to get soaked. That's what I use to record. And we're going to head out there now. I'm going to grab my head torch. I've got a reflective vest now, which is thrown over the top, which I think is much easier than trying to wear that kind of bright yellow coat you saw before. It's okay, but it gets so hot. You know, that fabric that just it cooks you, and I don't usually have it on for long. So I thought if I just wear this kind of like tabard over the top, it's so much easier. Anyway, I'm time wasting. I've made sure the house is freezing, so it's not inviting whatsoever to stay in, and I should look forward to coming back, getting the heating on and getting some food later on. Let's do this. Just before I head out the door, looking like this, it's a combination I'm putting together. Look at this. Anyway, I'm going to be taking out one of the humour gels. Now, I've spoken about this before. Long story short, if you are in the US and you fancy trying out these gels, I will put a code up just at the bottom here that you get when you follow them on Instagram. So nothing special, but it entitles you to the discount to the value of 3 free gels. So you may want to try one of their variety packs. I think you get eight gels in there. With a discount, it's pretty cheap. It might be something that you wish to try. Take advantage of it if you can. It's not available to anybody outside the US, unfortunately. I've been in contact with them. I understand it, international shipping, all that kind of stuff. But so if you're interested, take a look at the discount code below. And I think just worth trying. Like everything, try it once, see if it works for you. If not, all cool. Let's do this. Okay, that's 10k done. And as luck would have it, the rain stopped about a minute and a half ago, so weather report was all out. Anyway, let's chat when we get back. I've got lots to talk about. Okay, that run, wow. Okay, let's talk about that. So as you know, I set off and the rain was bad, and then I'd say about half a kilometre in to the top of the road I got, really, and that rain turned to sleet, so it was cold and it was wet. I got to about a kilometre, and it was new territory for me. It really was, heading out there in those kind of conditions. I've never experienced it before. at least not intentionally, obviously, when I'm running. And I think previously, to be honest with you, had I experienced anything like that on the road, I would have just turned around and come home. But anyway, I was getting into it, and then a learner driver decided to get far too close to the curb and drench me. I mean, absolutely soaked me. I'm sure we all know as drivers we do our very best. Maybe somebody doesn't do this, but I know that I do my very best not to try and soak runners or cyclists on the pavement. But this evening was like a bit of an assault course for me. I had to anticipate these big puddles coming up, which I had to try and see in the distance, look behind me and check where the cars were. If I could see there was a gap where the cars were, I had to kind of sprint past that puddle to make sure I wouldn't get soaked, intentionally or not. So that was interesting. My clothing is obviously not suitable at all, so I did get very wet. And my hat kept slipping down, all that stuff. But the point is, I was out there, I knew when I started, I'm not stopping until I get home. That's it. I had my 10k to do, I was going to do it. What was quite interesting, I suppose, is that because it was pouring, my watch is under the sleeve of my jacket, and so I just ran on feel. I never once checked the pace whatsoever. So from the moment I left to the moment I stopped, because I knew the distance, I knew what it would be, I didn't look at my watch whatsoever. So I have no idea, or rather I do literally just now have an idea, and I'll put up on the screen what the splits are. But the average comes out of 5:29 per kilometre for the 10k, and that was me just running. And I wasn't trying to run fast or trying to run slow or trying to keep an even pace. I just ran, and that's what it came out as. And you'll see the splits are kind of a little bit uneven, and that's cool, that's fine. Different parts of the road. I had to do a lot of avoiding puddles. I had to be really careful when I crossed roads. I didn't stop my watch at any of these points. I just kept it going. So there is some timing that accounts for those sorts of things. I saw 3 runners out there, 3 other runners only, and we gave it that sort of like a wave, the nod of approval that, yeah, you're as crazy as I am too. But I think the important thing, and I get this when I'm driving to work and I'm seeing people on those very cold, dark mornings, I just think that's somebody who's going to do well in a marathon. They're a student of the craft, they're focused, they're committed, they're not deciding that I'll just do it tomorrow, because it's so easy to do that. I could have come home, looked out the window and just thought, forget this. I mean, what does it really matter to anybody else anyway? It's only me that has to deal with the consequences of not training and all of those things. But I needed to do it. It was an important experience. It was a very important run for me because it was the first, like I mentioned. I think mentally just building that resilience and just developing that mindset, because let's be honest, the weather is ever changing around the world at the moment. Who knows what it might be in April? We could have snow, we could have rain, and I just want to be that person who's got some sort of skills to tap into, where I'm used to running in different conditions. And I appreciate that it's a variable that's unlikely to cause me a huge amount of trouble on the day, but at the same time, you're here to enjoy the journey and take it for what it is. And we can't always have these beautiful sunny days to run alongside the water's edge and look at the sea and hear the birds and all of those things. Whilst I'd love to, believe me, it would be fantastic now to just disappear for 3 months, continue my training somewhere, and then come back ready to tackle the marathon. But that is not the reality of the situation. So tonight was cool. It was wet, it was miserable, it was cold, and I also knew, of course, that by me stopping, I knew that my body temperature was very, very quickly going to just drop, because I got very warm, I got comfortable on the run. I knew I was wet, but I felt okay. And that last, I'd say, 500 metres, just kind of walking back home, crossing a few roads, by the time I walked in the door, I was cold. There's no doubt about it. I was needing to just get those clothes off quickly, get some warmer clothes on, which is why I just literally chucked on the same jumper I had on yesterday. So apologies if you noticed it's the same as yesterday, but it was warm, it was ready to go, and it's thick and it's comfy, so that's it. Anyway, that was tonight. Roll on tomorrow. I'm off now to grab some food, have a warm bath, and just relax for the rest of the evening and get ready for a new day tomorrow. Catch you then.